Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you to this stream, and that is the young man that we're going to talk about. Such a bright spirit, an awesome smile, beautiful little boy who had his life robbed of him of an unspeakable act. And not only him, but his biological father. And not only him and his biological father, but his biological father's girlfriend as well. And to me, if you ask me before you even give me any details, I would automatically say that something just does not sound right about that. There had to be a strong motive for something like that to happen, for you to kill this bright, innocent, beautiful baby boy who was just like, he's like the brightest star in the room. And he just made everybody happy. There's some video of him, and just everybody seemed to love this little boy. Let me tell you guys the story. The bodies of 6-year-old Tai'raz Moore and a 28-year-old woman were found in the family's home near Detroit, Michigan on Thursday morning after the father's body was found burning in a car about 11 miles away. I'm going to read that one more time. The bodies of the 6-year-old boy, Tai'raz Moore, and a 28-year-old woman who they did not give the name of, some woman and the boy were found dead in a home near Detroit, Michigan. And they found that after they found that boy's dad's body burning in a car 11 miles away. I already have a lot of thoughts about this. I already have a lot of preconceived notions about this, but let me tell you guys the rest of the story first. Okay? Now, police have gone to the home to alert the family of the father's passing, according to the news, and that's when they discovered the bodies. Warren Police Commissioner Bill Dwyer told the news station that the killings were truly evil and that the FBI has been brought in to help the police look for the subjects. The execution-style killing of this 6-year-old boy is truly evil, unthinkable, and senseless, and shows no regard for life, according to Dwyer. Only monsters or godless creatures would pull the trigger on a 6-year-old and execute that child. The bodies of Tai'raz's father was found inside a burning car in Detroit's east side. The names of the father and the girlfriend have not been released yet, which they already released that. So, or did they? Let me make sure. Let me make sure. Let me see. Did they give his name? I don't think they gave his name, but they put a picture out of the dad. We'll see it. We'll see it roll by here in a minute. I think. They did not give the name of the father or the girlfriend yet, but the boy's mother, whose name is Brittany Thompson, and she gave an interview, and the mother, Brittany, gave a tearful interview to the news where she commented on the cruel way that her only child was killed and apologized to the little boy for not being there to protect him. The police have indicated that they're looking for more than one suspect in connection to the horrific case. Notate that they're looking for multiple people. I want y'all to put that in your mental banks. We'll come back to it. During a press conference on Friday, Dwyer said that the death penalty could be sought against the killers. When you murder a 6-year-old innocent baby, the person or persons responsible deserved the death penalty. However, he did not confirm if the police department and federal authorities would definitely be seeking the death penalty for whomever is responsible. Maury Thompson, who was little Tai'raz's grandmother, set up a GoFundMe page to help pay for the boy's funeral. Because why have life insurance for anybody when you could just create a GoFundMe? And I know that the family ain't gonna like that I said that, but maybe they should like knowing the fact that I'm being honest, and I think it's highly irresponsible for people to bring children inside of this world and not have life insurance, knowing that there are two guarantees in life. If you live, you will be born, and just as sure as you're born, you will die. So why would you not have life insurance? Why would you leave that burden on your family and the rest of the world and not be responsible for the life that you created? But I digress. Maybe there's some people who aren't the brightest crayons in the box. Maybe they don't get it. But I digress. The page describes Tai'raz as a vibrant little boy who loved to teach and laugh, and noted that he will dearly be missed. Our hearts are broken and souls are empty without him. Let me show you guys the news videos before I give you guys what I believe happened. If y'all think y'all know what happened, post it in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Here's the fair usage. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. All right, listen to this and tell me what you guys think. Give me your honest opinion. Here we go.
We're learning more about this double shooting in Warren that left a 6-year-old boy dead. A woman and a boy were found at a home on Otis Street right near 9 Mile. Commissioner Dwyer had some pretty strong words for the person responsible and wants to even get the feds involved. Let's get out to local 4 Sean Lay. He is following this story for us this afternoon, joining us live outside of the Warren Police Department. This is such a sad story, Sean.
Sad, devastating. I think it's impacting the entire community when you hear about all of this. And then Commissioner Dwyer just moments ago confirming what we reported yesterday, and it was hard. The details so hard to report. Let's show you, first of all, one of the victims here, and we're of course focusing on 6-year-old Tai'raz Moore, 6 years old. And the details we're learning are even difficult to report, but he was led down to the basement of a home with the girlfriend of his father, and they both were shot execution style. Tai'raz's father was found dead in a burned car 11 miles away on Detroit's east side, and police are now Detroit police, Warren police, they've teamed up their homicide units, and they're also bringing in the FBI. They're doing everything they can. And as we reported yesterday, they believe there's more than one person responsible for this horrible act.
The execution-style killing of the 6-year-old boy is truly evil, unthinkable, and senseless, and shows no regard for life. Only monsters or godless creatures would pull the trigger on a 6-year-old and execute a child.
Commissioner Dwyer's spot on there. To execute a child. It's just hard to even talk about, but those are the facts, and that's why this is so important that Warren Police, Detroit, and the FBI now teaming up. There's a GoFundMe that has been started by Tai'raz's grandmother, and I want to read you a part of what she's written. She says Tai'raz was a vibrant little boy who loved to tease and laugh. He will be dearly missed. Our hearts are broken. Our souls are empty without him. So detectives fanning out again to try to work up suspect information. They need help. If anyone has a shred of detail, a piece of video, or they know who did it, please call Warren Police right away. We'll stay on top of this all day long and have the very latest for you later on Local 4 News at 4 and 5. Everard, back to you.
Life. He took my baby. He took my life.
She hasn't slept and can barely speak after so many tears and gut-wrenching pain. Brittany Thompson's 6-year-old son, Tai'raz Moore, brutally killed execution style.
How y'all killed him was so disgusting. You have no conscience.
Warren Police working with Detroit Police calling the act truly evil. Warren Police discovering the bodies of Tai'raz and his father's 28-year-old girlfriend, Isis Rimson, in the basement of their home on Otis Thursday morning.
I pray that you wasn't scared when it happened. I hope you wasn't scared. And I want you to know I'm sorry. I wasn't there to protect you.
Detroit police say just hours before the body of Tai'raz's father, 31-year-old Tai'raz Moore, was found in Detroit in the back of a burned-up rental car. The motive, quite possibly narcotics.
If we bring the federal authorities in, we may be asking for the death penalty.
As police aggressively try to hunt down the person or persons responsible, Tai'raz's family trying to remember him like this and this. They call the little boy who just turned 6 in July vibrant, outgoing, curious, and protective of his mom and 3 sisters, and very mature for his age.
I was like, oh my goodness, you gave birth to a man. He just took on that persona, like he was like this little old soul.
Tai'raz, known to enjoy school, this was his favorite teacher. He also loved animals, singing, and dancing.
Everyone in the community is just heartbroken.
Tai'raz's mother's last conversation with her little boy, his first loose tooth that he planned to lose the next day.
His tomorrow never came.
Now this family that's barely able to breathe without feeling overwhelming pain, starting a GoFundMe page to give Tai'raz a proper goodbye and praying his killer or killers are found.
I want you to live for a long time. And I want you to suffer. Death is too easy.
If you have any information on this horrific case, you know what to do. Call police or 1-800-SPEAK UP. If you'd like to help out Tai'raz's family, we have a link at fox2detroit.com. I'm Erica Erickson, Fox 2 News.
First and foremost, to the mother, I want to say, our sincerest condolences to the mother. This seemed to be a bright young man who had a promising future, but it just doesn't seem like something was right about this. And I'm going to tell you why. I typed to some people in the chat, and there were some things that I thought. The reason why I don't believe that this is random, firstly, because they confirmed and they said that they believe that the little boy knows who the killers were or killer. But I believe it was multiple people because of how elaborate and how calculated this particular set of murders was. Because you got to remember, this is 3 people dead. And you always have to ask a very pertinent question, and shout out to Tommy because he talks about this a lot. But you have to ask the very important question, and that is why. Why is a great question to ask in any circumstance, because you deserve an answer. This particular incident took multiple people to perform this, because I want y'all to remember what they said. They said that they walked this little boy and the girlfriend downstairs and shot them, quote unquote, execution style. Execution style. Execution is a style of murder, which signifies somewhat of a reason, or at least give you an idea about why it happened. Why did they want to punish this little boy? There's nothing that this little boy did that would have deemed this. Nothing at all. So I don't believe that his murder was meant to punish him. I believe that his murder was meant to send a message way further outside of his immediate family. Okay? Why would multiple people that were involved in this risk life in prison or potentially the death penalty? Why would they risk their life over these 3 individual people? This little boy, his father, and the father's girlfriend. And I also thought, like some people in the chat thought, like maybe this was an ex-boyfriend, a jealous ex-lover. I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. Not to this level, to separate them, shoot him execution style, and then kill the dad and then burn him up in a car. That sounds like something that comes straight out of a movie. It sounds calculated and elaborate. I just don't think that sounds like somebody who has, what do they call that? A crime of passion. That don't sound like crime of passion to me. To me, that sounds like that's a hit. That sounds like murder for hire. Sounds like somebody was sent out to kill them specifically over something. This is not a gang war. Gang wars and gang murders are quite a bit different than this. Again, this is too calculated for something like this to be a gang murder, a gang affiliated murder. That type of thing is just different. They would have probably shot them all right where they stood. Not separate them and then make them sit down, hands behind their back, on their knees, and shoot them execution style. I don't know if that's how they actually did it, but what I'm saying is that that's generally how execution style looks. When they did their investigation, they used very specific words. They walked them into a basement and shot them execution style. That's very specific. So if they were executed, then one would have to ask, what scenarios would this man and this kid and this girlfriend fall under that would qualify as an executable type incident? It's very organized. Thank you. What type of scenarios would qualify this under an execution? If you ask me, I think it's only one. Keep in mind, it's nearby Detroit. Nearby. I think it's only one. Drugs. Drugs gone bad, drug deal gone bad, or drugs came up missing. Y'all know how these little thugs and gangsters and hooligans always like to rap about ran off from the plug, right? They make songs about this kind of stuff. People get their drugs stolen from them. People get robbed of their drugs. People end up using the drugs. People end up selling the drugs and don't give up the money that they're supposed to give up when it's time to come collect. When you talk about a world and a place like Michigan where there are drugs all over, and I'm not saying every city, I'm not saying every county, I'm not saying every neighborhood, but what I am saying is that there is a lot of drug activity. Let's not play that game. All right? There's a lot of people affiliated with that type of stuff. And what I am saying is that seems like it would make sense based on what we hear so far. It seems like this was a drug-related hit. I can't say if the father was a drug dealer. I can't say what he was involved in. Maybe we could look up his record. Maybe it's relevant. Maybe it's not. But all I know is that the boy wasn't the target. Who knows if the woman was the target? Maybe she was involved in the drug game. Who knows? But it seemed calculated. They separated them. They gave the boy and the girlfriend the same treatment, which in my opinion, if I'm right about this, that leads me to believe that the boy was innocent and the girlfriend was innocent because they gave them both the same treatment. If the girlfriend were not innocent, then I think that they would have treated her a bit different than the little boy. But notice how they separated the man and made his fate a little bit different. There's a chance that they probably burn that man alive. And that's the biological father right there. I don't have his name, but from what I understand, that's the biological father. Does a picture speak 1,000 words? Can you tell whether he's a drug dealer by looking at his picture? I say no. But we don't know. I don't even have his name. But from what we understand, that's the picture of the biological father. This was an organized hit. And all I'm saying is that if he was involved in something, that it presents the possibility that he caused the demise of his own son, which also leads me to one more point. Are you ready for this? That would mean that this man has a pattern of behavior. That means that this man, if he is a drug dealer, indeed, was probably a drug dealer while he had his son in his possession, while he was with his current girlfriend, and probably 6 years ago, there's a chance that he was probably a drug dealer if that's what he was doing. Because drug dealers don't just wake up one day and say, I want to be a drug dealer in my 20s and 30s. No, that's kind of something that you're groomed into at a young age and just something you continue to keep doing. You don't just wake up one day and somebody put a pack in your hand and they say go to work. That's something that you start off small and grow into. What am I saying? I am suggesting at the possibility that this man was probably a drug dealer when the mother got pregnant with this kid, which means that the mother knew that he was a drug dealer or should have known that he was doing illicit deeds with his life and that he was not a law-abiding citizen and that he was not a reputable character in the community in the United States of America or nearby Detroit or Warren or on planet Earth. There is a possibility that we know that women like bad boys and fast money. There is a possibility, based on the evidence that is presented, that mom might have had this baby by a thug. The baby's innocent, the mom's innocent, but there's a possibility that the man might not have been innocent. Is that a plausible hypothesis? I say yes. Because what else could there been a reason for this elaborate, planned, long drawn out process in murder? What did they need to go through all of that for? And if they catch anybody for doing this murder, why would multiple people risk their entire lives over killing these three people? What on earth could be that important? If your life is at risk, if you work for something like, a drug cartel that might kill you if you don't do what it is that they tell you to do, there's a possibility that that could be the case. And I'm just throwing it out there because we know that America has a prevalent drug problem all across the United States of America. There's problems in every state. There's problems in every city. So let's not act like this ain't a possibility. I'm not sure if that man was a saint or not, but all I'm saying is that I hope that we find out the truth. I hope that they give us answers. I hope that we can get justice. I hope that we can cut down on this bullshit that's happening. And I hope that we can start saving our babies. And I hope that us as parents, that we can start making better commitments to each other to raise our children under the same roof. If we're not going to do that, then why are we having these kids? I don't like hearing the fact that this man had his kid around his quote-unquote girlfriend. I don't like hearing the fact that mom has her kid around some quote-unquote boyfriend. I don't like this type of stuff. I think it's detrimental to the kids, and I think it's detrimental to our society for us to continuously procreate so recklessly like this. It's not every situation, it's not every mother, it's not every father, but there are too many damn situations that I continue to keep describing on this channel that are very, very similar to each other. They all have something, some type of element in common. And these children are being failed, not by the system, not by the government, not by the police, not by the president, not by your governors or mayors or anybody like that. They're being failed at the base level with the parents. That falls on us as people. This ain't white supremacy. This ain't no oppression. This ain't slavery syndrome. This ain't Kemet syndrome. This ain't we miss Africa syndrome. This is none of that. This is us putting ourselves in stupid ass positions. This is us doing this to ourselves. We're digging holes and jumping in them. And so whose fault is that? Why would we point the finger at anybody else when we actually have the ability to take control of our lives, control of our destiny, and make sure that not only we live in a reputable way, which will make our world better, it just takes one person. Start with your household. Start with you. You live better. Make your neighborhood better by you being a better person. You not being an asshole. You not being a jerk. You not being a drug dealer. You not being a killer. Start with yourself. That's how change happens. That's how we save these babies. Start at home. Stop beating your kids. Start giving your kids respect. Start giving them love. Start giving them a chance. If you know you live in high crime areas, violent areas, then fucking move. Give your kids a chance. Otherwise, you'll be on the AFC and we'll be talking noise about you and your badass parenting skills. It's just that simple. We want to encourage people to start being more accountable and start asking for people to be better parents, and we're asking for more families. All I'm saying is, what's wrong with that? Please don't get mad at my words. Get mad at the scenarios that continue to keep happening while everybody's looking around pointing the finger at somebody else. Get mad at the fact that that bright, beautiful baby boy did not get a chance to grow up and become something great. Get mad about that before you send me an email, post a comment about me, and get mad about something that I said. Don't talk about being the change. Just be the change. That's how we make our world better. I want to say rest in peace to that beautiful baby boy right there. Again, let's put some respect on his name. Tai'raz Moore was only 6 years old. Beautiful baby boy. Young Prince. R.I.P. This is your boy DJ Just J. That's why we're the AFC. Babies' lives matter. We advocate for children as our number one priority. From my heart to yours, I love you, and y'all have a great night. Thank you for listening to this stream. Peace.